This is Le Show, and you may recall, constant listeners may recall, last week this broadcast originated in London, and I was doing the rounds of broadcasts in London to relentlessly flog Songs of the Bushmen, and I was amazed. They were looking at their emails on a couple of the radio shows, and there were emails from people who were listening over in England or Ireland or wherever to my podcasts. And I thought, well, it might be an interesting thing to open the phone lines this week to our friends from the United Kingdom to call in to see if they had any thoughts on the election. So I circulated the phone number over there, and I think we have some time. So, yes, Jerry's nodding yes. So let's just open the phone lines and see. These are, again, just from the United Kingdom, and let's see who's out there. So, hello, you're on the air.
Hello there, Harry.
Yes, it is. Who's this?
It's Barry St. Michael here from London, phoning from London.
Hi, Barry. How are you?
Hi, do you remember me? I was the doorman at your hotel last week.
Oh, yeah. I wanted to ask you, that bag wasn't... It looked really like it was hurting your back. Was it? You were okay?
Well, it was. If you will, bring over those gentlemen's leisure pamphlets to keep under your bed throughout your stay. You can buy such things over
No. That I meant that big suitcase that you helped put in the car. You're okay. I worried a little bit about you because you're not, as I recall, you're not you're not.
No, I'm 82 years old.
Yeah.
It's not ideal as a job, but you were more than generous. It was an absolute pleasure to have you at the hotel, and a joy to meet that very special lady at breakfast the other morning.
No.
And also your wife when she flew over later in the week.
Yeah, thank you, Barry. Let me just make sure, because this was the other nagging doubt I had after I left. That coin that I gave you, was that a 1 or a 2 pound coin? I can never tell those apart.
Pence.
Oh,
Pence.
All right. Well, I'll be back.
I can hardly wait.
Barry, have you been keeping up with the American election at all this year? Everybody in Britain seems...
Not half, mate. It's what strikes me is it's such a complicated electoral system you people have, isn't it? Conventions, caucuses, voting in primaries, there's so much to do just to get someone elected. I mean, we're lucky over here because... the British are basically governed by your elected president, and yet we don't have to lift a finger, It's wonderful.
Yeah. Doesn't cost you very much either.
No, I think that the lovely thing is that your candidates, I'm delighted you're doing so much for the elderly with Biden and McCain as the running mate. I say running, they haven't done much running since the early 60s, but you take my point.
Yes, I do, yes.
And there's this business at Nashville, was it? The Nashville debate, McCain wouldn't say Obama's name, was it?
Yeah.
At that age, names do slip out of your mind, and it is sometimes difficult to put a name to a face. I mean, Barack Obama is not the easiest to remember, and Joe Biden's pretty forgettable, and so is his name,
Well, Barry, how do you feel about this whole issue of experience, as an octogenarian yourself? Do you think that's something that should count in an election like this?
Well, I think it is very, very important. Over in my country, we go by tradition, and we've had the same people at the head of the British government, the Queen, for example. We go through a process that has been employed for over 600 years. The Queen is taken in a horse-drawn carriage to Parliament. She takes an ornate sceptre, knocks 3 times on the oak of the lower house door. One to oust the devil, once repeat, twice on the pipe if the answer is no. She says something in Latin. It's years of tradition. No one understands that. She removes her cloak of state, reveals her royal garter to the Speaker of the House. To be honest, she doesn't have to do that bit, but he's quite a good-looking fellow. You can't blame her. then it's more Latin, and finally she resides in the sacred seat of the leader of the house, you know. Then the leader of the house pushes her off his seat and she sits on her own. But, you know, it may seem archaic to you Yankee Doodle dandies, but it's a little bit of something we call tradition.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's ludicrous, it's meaningless, but it is it is traditional, if nothing else.
Are you okay?
Not too bad, a little bit wheezy. I am up very late to speak to you. We don't have no Super Tuesday. None of that. We're more understated over here. We have a fairly pleasant Wednesday. And when Gordon Brown was elected, we had mildly depressing Friday. And in my house, Margaret and I have fantastic Saturday and occasional filthy Sunday, round about mid-afternoon, usually.
Mm-hmm. How is Margaret, by the way?
Oh, she's not bad. She's hideous, but, you know, she's got a heart of gold.
So, did you stay up to watch the Nashville debate?
I saw a little bit of it, yeah. I mean, you know, the one I like is Palin.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Palin, I wonder if she's any relation to, I don't know whether you remember him over here. We got Michael Palin.
Oh, of course, yeah.
From Monty Python.
Mm-hmm, sure.
You know, surreal comedian, verging on the absurd, and Michael Palin's quite funny too. See what I did there? That one was coming a mile off. You could see that one coming.
No, I didn't see it coming. It's interesting. But aside from the last name, is there anything about her that strikes you one way or the other?
Well, yeah, what they like to make out she's tough, you know, hunting for moose and all that. Look, Harry, that is nothing. We had Mrs. Thatcher. I mean, hunting. But she used to go up to the wild plains of Scotland armed with just a handbag. She beat to death an entire herd of Aberdeen Angus cows one year with just a Harrods leather clutch bag. A European treaty in 1986, she was particularly angry about, she kicked to death about 30 stag in Inverness. That's vicious.
Yeah. That is tough. Did she eat them, or just was that for sport?
She wore them and then ate them.
Oh, all right. Well, that's fair. Do you or your friends talk about the American election a lot with your fellow doormen, or? Well,
we talk about it if there's nothing on television or no sports, or there's nothing to say about the weather or British politics, or there's no wars on. Then we might go into something as tedious as your election, but we can't escape it.
Yeah.
You know, it's on 24/7. You know, more at the weekend.
Mm-hmm.